there was a study that came out that actually some of the folks who are in the caucus groups that are trying to peel people out of the United Methodist Church that said, oh, look, the vast majority of United Methodists are traditionalists. That's actually true. I think the vast majority of United Methodists are traditionalists, but they're also compatible.
Right.
When you look at how they look at this, because they're saying, but now what's being happened is they're presented with this false dilemma that, oh, well, if you're going to stay in the UMC, you can't be traditionalist. If you're traditionalist, you have to leave the United Methodist Church. That's the biggest crock of bull I ever heard in my life. The vast majority of people that I know in the Southeast are not leaving the United Methodist Church. They don't feel threatened. There are specific examples when people say, well, you're going to be forced to do things, or you're going to be forced to change your position. Or you're going to be, I'm traditionalist. I'm not forced to change anything. I'm not going to be forced to do anything that my conscience does not allow me to do. And we see that historically in the United Methodist Church. When we changed our position in the Book of Discipline on being able to remarry people who are divorced, a lot of pastors decided they didn't want to do that because you couldn't remarry divorced people in the United Methodist Church up until the 30s or 40s when we started changing the Book of Discipline. When I came into the ministry in the late 80s, early 90s, there were still a lot of pastors who were at the end of their ministry that would not marry people who had been divorced, unless it was for the reason of adultery that their spouse had left them. And no one ever forced them in their church to marry anyone. No one's ever forced me to marry anyone. No. People have come into my office and said, I had one time a couple came and they said, hey, we want you to do our wedding like in 2 weeks. I was like, okay, well, let's talk about this. They said, well, our divorces are not final yet.
Whoa.
And I said, yeah, I'm not your guy. It's not going to happen.